I've told this story more times than I should, and every time it just never adds up. It was the summer of '89, right before senior year. One of those summers that felt like it might actually last forever. Late nights, cheap food. No real responsibilities yet. We kept telling ourselves we'd stay close after graduation, but I think deep down, we knew things were going to change. That's why we went camping. Me, Jules, Ryan, and Alex. One last trip, one more memory before everything got serious. We picked a spot way out past the old quarry road. Someplace no one else went. Jules brought the tent. Ryan brought a couple bottles he borrowed from his older brother. And Alex. He didn't say much, but I think he just needed to get out of town for a while. We'd all heard stuff about that area. Those kind of tales that used to scare us when we were kids. It used to be a mining town or something. Back in the '40s. No one really knew what happened to it. Some say there was a fire. Others say folks just kind of disappeared. Now it's just a bunch of broken trails and quiet woods. The kind of place that feels forgotten. Or maybe, like it chose to be forgotten. We weren't planning to get there that late. The map was old, creases worn, corners missing. Roads didn't match the signs anymore. We missed a turn after sunset and spent hours crawling down back roads barely wide enough for the car. No lights, no mile markers, just trees and dirt. And that creeping sense we were going in circles. The compass kept shifting. Even the stars looked wrong. Once or twice, something flickered just past the headlights. Too fast to catch. Too quiet to follow. Just a wild animal, perhaps. By the time we found a place to stop, it was just past midnight. We set up near what was left of a cabin. No roof. Just the frame. Rotted wood and rusted nails curled like teeth. We pitched our tents by flashlight, speaking less with every minute. Every sound felt too loud. Every shadow looked like it had a shape. Everything smelled like damp earth and dead leaves, like the forest had been sealed shut. And we cracked it open. The trees leaned in too close. And the air, it wasn't just still. It was listening. We tried to sleep, but the woods had other plans. First came the silence, not just quiet, dead quiet, like the whole forest was holding its breath. Then we heard it, a whisper, breathless, like someone saying our names just beneath the wind. It didn't come from one direction. It came from everywhere. Too faint to catch, too clear to ignore. It circled us, matched our breathing. None of us spoke. We couldn't. We just laid there, eyes wide, waiting for it to stop. But it didn't. At some point, the whispers just stopped. No warning. No fade. Just gone. We thought maybe it was over. Maybe we were just freaking ourselves out. Then, footsteps. Slow, circling the tents. Jules whispered, "Do you hear that?" Nobody answered. We were too busy listening, too scared to move. Whatever it was, it knew we were awake, and it wasn't leaving. I leaned forward, hand shaking, reaching for the zipper. Not to open it, just to listen closer. That's when Alex sat up. Fast, sudden. He looked at the tent wall, unblinking, focused. "I need to pee," he whispered. Jules turned to him. "You're not going out there." "Wait till morning," Ryan said. But Alex didn't even seem to hear us. He shifted toward the flap. I moved to block it. Jules grabbed his arm. Ryan whispered, "Seriously, man. Stop." We all reached for him, held him. And still, he kept moving. Not forceful, just steady, detached, like none of us were even there. He ducked low, and before we could react, slipped beneath the tent wall. Gone. No sound, no hesitation, just a rush of cold air in his place. We scrambled after him, unzipping the flap, yelling his name, flashlights slicing the dark. The woods swallowed him. 1 second he was 5 feet ahead, the next, gone. We shouted, called his name, over and over, no answer. Jules stood frozen, her mouth open like she wanted to scream, but nothing came out. Ryan kept saying, "He was right here. He was right here." We spread out, stumbling through brush and branches, hearing things that weren't there, seeing shapes that weren't him. Then the whispers started again, closer this time, softer, like they were coming from inside the trees. We found nothing. No footprints, no broken branches, just silence. When we finally made it back to our tents, Alex's bag was gone. And right in the middle of the fire pit was a photo. Old, burned around the edges, still warm. None of us remembered taking it, but it was us. We were already moving before the sky even started to lighten, just grabbed what we could and ran for the car. Ryan jumped in first, fumbled with the keys, turning them hard like that would help. Nothing. He kept trying, muttering, "Come on, come on." But the car was dead, like everything else around us. So we walked, miles of trail that didn't match the way in. No signs, no sounds, just silence, except for our footsteps. But somehow we made it back to town. We ran straight to the sheriff's station, looking like hell. The sheriff? He didn't even blink, just looked at us and said, "You shouldn't have gone up there. But at least you came back." We were confused. He wasn't even bothered about how Alex was missing. 5 hours had passed. Everyone in town acted like nothing was wrong, like our panic was just some twisted joke. No one believed us when we said Alex was gone. We were on our way to his house, trying to figure out how to tell his mom. And then, there he was, Alex. Just walking down Main Street, fresh clothes, hair combed, smiling like none of it ever happened. We rushed over to him, confused, relieved, terrified. I grabbed his arm and asked, "Where the hell did you go?" He just looked at us, confused, said he'd gone home early, that we were the ones who never showed, said he hadn't seen us in weeks. We didn't know what to say. None of us did. But then Jules saw it. His backpack. The same one from that night. Only now, it was clean. Too clean. Like it had never touched dirt. And tucked into the side pocket, just barely visible, was the photo. The one from the fire pit. Only this time, we weren't in it, just Alex, standing in front of the tent, still smiling, and behind him, in the trees, something else was smiling too. I've told this story more times than I can count, and every time, it still gets under my skin. Not because I don't understand what happened, but because I do, and I know it never really ended. Jules moved away. She won't go near the woods, not even for a hike. Ryan. He drinks more than he used to. Says he doesn't remember most of it, but I know he's lying. And me. I still have the photo. Locked in a box I swore I'd throw out 100 times. But I can't. Sometimes. I swear the image changes. Just a little. A tree out of place. A shadow that wasn't there before. Alex's smile. A little wider. I don't know what really happened out there. I just know something followed us back. And it hasn't let go.